We're here. River, play Evil Dead real quick. Alex, say hello.
Hi, was it your last pinball video?
Yeah, we got Evil Dead. This might be one of the coolest pinball games I've ever seen. What do you think, River? Huh?
I just started playing.
And you got the cellar, you got monsters that come up out of the cellar, you got the hand that moves over here.
See, there's an extra flipper.
Yeah, you have another button. It's below the other button.
Oh. Oh, yeah, to shoot that.
You got a lower play field for Harrietta.
Oh, yeah, I like with my shotgun.
Yeah. By the way, when you shoot the ball out of that's a double barrel shotgun as well. Evil Dead. You got the cabin, the car. It has everything. Look at River go. And then it has this animated topper up top, which is really cool.
Why is the volume so low?
I don't know, we need to turn it up, don't you agree? Now, we're here in our secret bar. And we're here with the notorious Alex.
I heard you say legendary. You were about to say legendary.
No, you're not legendary yet. But now that you're working at the Darkness, you're kind of legendary. So Alex, yeah, I know. Alex, what have you been doing at the Darkness since Transworld?
Put a bunch more effects and lights into the slaughterhouse. I finished up some of the lighting things I started before Transworld and added some more here in the Darkness in the upstairs of the house. So there's lots of lightning, lots of sound. And it's different. All the way up front. From the bug all the way here. Yeah, all that, yeah.
Now, Alex, so people who don't know, like when I first talked to you, I thought you had like a girlfriend and you guys were like painters or like scenic painters.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
But now you're kind of like getting to be well known for something else, which is like fixing animatronics and doing special effect lighting.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people saw that video of Eloise by Grim Life Collective. What? Yeah, it's a wide body, River. Now, did you do a lot of that special effect lighting in there?
Did a good chunk of it. Did a lot of animation, a lot of stuff. But it was a group effort. There's a lot of stuff got done in a short amount of time.
Now, Alex, I just want to ask you a question, okay? A lot of people who do their haunted house, of course they try to light it and whatever, right? But almost nobody's taking the time to like program the lights and scenes because that's like a whole nother level of scenic, right?
Yeah. Give life to everything.
Yeah, but it's time consuming, right? And it costs a lot of money. But
time consuming, it costs money, and actually it's better to do it from the start. So it took me so long here because I was chasing, this is a legendary place and there's stuff I don't want to change and the stuff I changed, but you gotta trace all the wires. Stuff that was installed 15 years ago. So.
What is the benefit in doing lighting the way that you're doing it, even though it's very time consuming? Would you say that it's as important as like building the scene very scenically well? Like how does it enhance?
You were spending all this time on your scene. You need to light it and light it the correct way to accentuate all that amazing work you've done and take that work and step it up. Bring that action, bring it to life, even if it is just a static scene. Sound, lights, that kind of stuff.
So what are some of the things that you suggest to do lighting-wise to make a scene go to the next level?
I like to use your practical lights, then accentuate those theatrically. Make sure your lights are doing something, even if they're just flickering a little bit or turning off here or there, or reasons to do things. Electricity, maybe some sparks, stuff like that. All different things you can add to your scene.
And you're literally programming these with Fright Ideas type controllers, right?
Yeah, I'm using Fright Ideas things on all of this stuff.
So you're programming that with the same thing you would use to program, for example, an animatronic.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes, and actually Fred Ideas, a lot of the simpler controllers are considered prop controllers, and then the Flexes and Flex Maxes are technically considered scene controllers, show controllers, so that's what we're using them for.
So like, when we're talking about lighting, there's obviously a lot of layers to it, okay? And I would say a lot of people would say, oh, the darkness is well lit, and
Very well lit.
it's very well lit, and
Very
the
bright.
scenes look really cool. But like what you're doing is like, I want to almost say this because I think it's true, and it's kind of like an insult, but it's not an insult.
Okay.
Is that when I was walking through it, it's like you did something that nobody even know was done.
Yeah.
Okay, because when you see it, you just assume it was supposed to be that way from the beginning.
Yeah.
So you don't notice it.
And one thing I will say I've changed here and these scenes up here is there's a lot of colored pin spots everywhere. And that's one thing I've took a lot out of. Took almost all of them out. Everything is lit. Even if it isn't not with a practical light, it is using theatrical lights to mimic that practical light. So even though you see a chandelier or a lamp, I'll say in the library, there is a lamp on the desk where the man has shot himself. That lamp is supposedly lighting up the whole side of the room. There's actually 5 hidden spotlights to light the room as well as that lamp. So the lamp is really there just to give you the effect of the light, but the hidden spotlights are what's like.
And what are some of the materials you need to kind of like do a scene like this?
Well, because we are using the controllers, everything I use is 12 volts. So I've switched everything over to 12 volts. All the lighting fixtures got 12 volt bulbs, 12 volt spotlights. I like to use all different kinds of lights. And yeah, just lots of lights.
To do a room really cool, how long would it take you from start to finish?
That's a loaded question.
I'm saying average.
A couple days maybe, a couple days is solid. If we have a solid game plan, that's one thing. People come to me and they let's make it look cool, and you know you got to have a solid game plan. What you want, what's going to go into it before you just kind of throw it into it. That's why I was working all that time before Transworld, because that's kind of what happened when I got here. Let's do some cool stuff. Let's do it in 5 days. But
And it's tedious type stuff,
it
but
is tedious stuff. There's a lot of running wires, a lot of just stripping wires, connecting, doing.
it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's cool, and like in the library, I guess we're not going to turn on the air, but like my lighting program then also triggers one of the animations in that room too. So lightning goes off, gets dark, the guy drops down.
So you're controlling everything in the room.
Not everything, but a chunk of it, a large chunk.
Now, you also did some lighting in here, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Lightning in the bar.
Now let's look at it, and then can we turn it on before we go in the haunt? So if you look up there, you'll see, now what are those? Just like LED?
Very bright white LED lights.
Very bright white LED lights, and you'll see some more over there. And you also are programming the audio.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a look at what you've done in here. Now, before we do that, let's look around the room. You see these flame bulbs that are really cool. There. You see those Jacob's ladders from Mini Spotlight, very cool. And you see we got the flickering lights and the pumpkins. It's all very cool, Hey, before you do that, turn the light off in the kitchen so we can get the full effect. And this is what the difference is. All right, fire it up, Alex. So you're in here, you're having a good old time. Then all of a sudden, it goes Rainforest Cafe on you. See, look at the room now. And how often does that go off, Alex?
I believe it's roughly like almost every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Every 10 minutes, the lightning will go off in this secret bar room. I think that's really cool. Alex, let's run in and look at the haunted house and see a scene that you did in there. And we'll come back in here and talk about it. Hold on, I'm gonna take my camera or my phone so I can see a little bit better. All right, where are we going?
First, you go first. You're the viewer.
awesome, dude.
This is what I was telling you about, Larry. So like, there's one light there, this lamp. What? There's a hidden spotlight there, there's a hidden spotlight down there, there's a hidden spotlight up there, there's a hidden spotlight down by your feet. There's another one shining up, so if you come back here, you get the impression that this lamp is lighting all of this text.
It does. It gives you the impression.
Same thing up there. We have that chandelier, the Mustang chandelier. There's other hidden spotlights up there showing light to the room. Lights up there, tied in with stuff. My lightning. And the only colored spotlights I have in here are on the bodies, on the props, on the statics. And those only go off when the lightning goes off. That's it.
It's super cool. Hold on. It's so noisy in here. Now, Alex, how many rooms in the darkness since you've started, which is before Transworld, did we
That
program?
style, let's just say up here, say 4.5, 5 rooms, because I don't count the out. You know, just in the upstairs here, all in the manor of the house. And then in the slaughterhouse, I changed the animations around, added new lighting to the big animations, the big unit 70s before the show, for Transworld. There's that main hallway, and a vast chunk of the slaughterhouse. We added a bunch of stuff. And actually, one thing I keep forgetting about, we put the machine gun on top of the ice cream truck, which I think is really cool.
Oh, so like you added an animation as well.
Yeah, I added a dropping body and just some cool stuff to entertain you too. I mean, not that it's not entertaining, but just kick it up a couple more notches.
So on what you've done is you've programmed custom lighting, you've integrated it with some of the animatronics,
Correct.
and changed the sound quite a bit.
Changed the sound quite a bit, and then there is some things that lighting-wise I just changed normal, nothing control, but some stuff like that. Tweaking it, making it better,
So that library scene, how many days do you think it took you if you just would have worked on that only?
Say 3 or 4 days, only because that library is a very difficult thing to get around, and it's so high, climbing up there, and there's a lot of stuff learned in there. It's kind of like a central hub in that area of the hall. So
Now you're also working on, we're going to talk about 2 other things here.
yes,
You're working on these guys.
yes,
And that's going to be part of the secret bar experience.
correct.
And you've been repairing those, and they're gonna talk to each other, 2 animatronics.
Yes.
And then you're also working on something else, and we're gonna make another video when we have it done, the Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
So talk a little bit about that.
So the Frankenstein room, we're going to put a new audio on the animation. We're going to reanimate it, and then we are going to also tie that lighting into the animation. So when he's triggered, it will trigger everything else we're going to go on,
Including lightning,
the electricity and lightning lights, and
which we're doing with a special kind of lighting rope.
Kind of lighting rope. We tried out, and I think it's looking pretty cool.
Yeah, we tested it.
All the testing looked real cool. So.
And it looks just like Universal's.
Yeah, it does.
So that's going to be our next mountain to climb.
Yeah, it'll be cool. I think it'll be a cool room.
So when we're talking about doing, like enhancing your haunted house, improving your haunted house, a lot of people are thinking along the lines, oh, I got to buy a new prop, I got to buy a new animatronic, I got to buy this, that, or whatever. I never really thought, okay, until I saw what you were doing, how important like lighting could be.
Yeah.
Because now you're giving the haunted house like a personality.
Yeah, we're changing it. I like to say these rooms, that especially these few up here that we changed, are legendary rooms. Everyone in the haunt industry knows these rooms, and they're still the same rooms. Don't get me wrong, but they are completely different in the feel, and which is cool. And I think a lot of haunts can do that by changing your sound, lighting, and just effects like that. You can change the feel of a haunt. And some people, they don't have the huge budget to make changes, but lighting and stuff. I mean, every haunt has a room full of lights and stuff that they're not using. Use them. I know every haunt has a box of controllers they're not using. You can, even the junkiest controllers, you can still make them control lights if you want.
And lighting has gotten so easy. It's a lot easier to do because of Amazon.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like when we look at those pumpkins up there, see how they're pulsating. We'd buy those lights off Amazon. And look how cool they look. And then you adding that lightning in here just literally put this whole room over the top. It reminded me of the old Jekyll and Hyde Club in New York.
It's kind of what you're going for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Although, we're not playing Scarface on the TV here.
You should be.
Yeah, we're playing movie clips, movie trailers and whatnot. So, wow, Alex, I have to say, and I'm just going to say this because it's true. Alex came here, okay? And when you're an impatient person like myself, it's like I would come here and Alex was working here and I had no idea what this guy was doing. I was just like, I would come here and I'm like, have you done anything? I see a roll of wire. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't see anything. Okay? And to be honest with you, I literally did not pay attention to him at all. And then I walked through the haunted house, was the first time I seen it. And you did the garage and the front of the house, and I think you also did the wheelchair room.
When you first went through that, I stepped all that up since you went through the haunt that first time.
Yeah. And I was like, what the hell? It was like the whole scene. If you said, oh, the scene was a 10 before, I'm not saying it was a 10, but like you say, oh, it's a 10 before, no, now it's a 20 plus. It literally doubled the room experience.
Well, thanks, Larry.
It just literally put it over the top.
That's cool.
And I don't think anybody who came through Transworld even noticed it because they just assumed it was supposed to be that way.
Oh, some of the diehards knew. Some of the people knew. They were excited to see what was up.
Well, I thought you did a fantastic job, but when I seen it for the first time, I was like, oh, that's what you were doing. Okay, I didn't get it. All I saw was wires strung all over the place. And I was like, okay. But yeah, lighting can give a room that paranormal personality. I think I'm creating a word, paranormal personality. Because when you just do a scene and you might have a CGI effect or whatever, it's not really haunted. Like when you go to a movie theater, what really scares you, maybe something jumping on the screen, but something jumping on the screen with like flash of lightning and loud sound, let's say, right? And you've actually put that into, and it's something that can repeat over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's probably something that may never break.
I hope not.
Well, you're not going to need to weld it.
No.
No welding required.
We'll probably blow out the speakers before anything. So.
Wow.
We got those babies cranked up.
Yeah. Now, I want to say to everybody out there, and I'm here in the dark, that we're going to do another video before Alex. He's going to the EHC show, Alex? Okay. So Alex will be at the EHC show. And Alex, what can you tell people about your efforts to get me to come?
If you guys are a haunted house in the Philadelphia area, and Larry wants to come, but he only wants to come if haunts will let him check out your haunt and make a video. So reach out to me or reach out to Larry and let him come check out your haunt. Because Larry never comes to these conventions, and I always want him to come. I get him a badge, he never shows. So I want him to show up this time and check out your haunts.
Yeah, even if it's in New Jersey or something.
Yeah, New Jersey, everywhere. I know I've talked to Brighton. I think we're gonna, if you go, we're gonna go to Brighton. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me just say this as I turn the camera around. And by the way, I have a new camera, and Alex keeps asking me where it's at.
He's not using it.
And I'm not using it yet. Because it's got like a button in it, it'll automatically switch it around. I have to turn it around manually. Let me just say this. What Alex is doing here, and Alex may jump in, and I'm gonna turn around so you can see Alex over there. It's not for everybody because it's expensive. And I would say it's probably the very last thing you would want to do because no one's expecting it. It's like putting really good icing on the cake is what it really is. But no one's gonna just eat a spoonful of icing, right? You gotta have the cake first. So yeah, you gotta have the scenes, you gotta have the animatronics, you gotta have the special effects or whatever, which this is kind of theoretically a special effect. But when you get your scenes to a level, like the next level to take it, some people say, oh, well, let's put a roof, because we've done that in many of our rooms. We put a roof up, and yeah, it does look cool. Like when you look at the dollhouse is cool with that the CGI up in the ceiling. Okay, and the room is super cool without what Alex has done, okay? But when you're trying to think about how to renovate your room, did you ever think that you could renovate it with lighting? I didn't really think of it that way. Could you renovate your room with sound? Yes, you can. And you can make it more of a realistic experience. So I would say it's the last thing. It's the last thing that you can go to. But I'm actually of the mindset now that it's instead of buying a bunch of new props and animatronics, what if you just did your whole entire haunted house, start to finish? When people went through, they would be like, you changed everything. What did you change? It's different. It's different. Something's different. Then they wouldn't realize, no, we improved the sound and programmed all the lighting and every scene from start to finish. They wouldn't pick up on that, but they would pick up on something's drastically different because it's drastically better. So it is expensive and it is time consuming. And if you're trying to get where you want to go, obviously you need to keep going and building the cool scenes and focusing on where the actors, do their thing. But this is another level to the cake, and it's a major one. And so now I am actually of a different mindset that you could do a complete renovation of your haunt without buying a single prop, without buying a single animatronic, because what Alex has done here is so time consuming and very expensive because there's a lot of things you got to buy. You got to buy the lighting, the wire, you got to buy controllers. There's a lot that goes into it. High-powered speakers. I mean, those speakers are $500 speakers.
Yeah, good speakers.
So they're not cheap. They're not cheap. So what do you think, Alex, is the cost without labor to do the library? What do you think was spent money-wise on the material, including the speaker?
On the low end, maybe. On the low end, $2,000.
$2,000 might be fair. Might be $2,500.
Yeah.
So to do one room, let's say it's $2,500, but then you got to pay somebody to do it. Okay. So let's just say hypothetically, you spend $3,000, $3,500 to do each room, and you've got 10 rooms. That's $30,000. Not a lot of people are going to invest that kind of money. But if you are trying to take your haunt to a whole nother level, I would strongly suggest this is something you consider doing to your haunt. Even if you only did maybe one room in the front, maybe one room in the middle, maybe one, let's just say it was a football field. Every 25 yards, you did one, just to start. Whoops, I dropped my phone. Would it make a difference in your haunt? Yeah. Would it make a huge difference if you went start to finish? How long do you think it would take you start to finish the darkness?
Take me a couple months.
A couple months?
Yeah. The darkness is a big thing. You gotta remember that too. The maze of the darkness.
I think when people watch the Eloise video, one of the things that really caught them was how all the effects were programmed. And I think that that's what really set Eloise apart. The scenic was good, sure. But what really made it over the top cool was the programming of all the scenes.
Stuff. And every animation there was every animation was customized. Every animation ran its own show in its own room too. So even electric chair had its own lights, its own effects, everything like that too. So
how many rooms do you think we've gotten done? We haven't done nothing downstairs except for we're going to do Frankenstein, right?
Frankenstein.
And then how many rooms did we do in the mansion
I'd say
area?
5 big areas in the mansion, and then I would say a vast majority of the new slaughterhouse.
Of the
had
new
a lot of
slaughterhouse,
stuff.
okay.
I mean, a lot of big sections of that have new stuff in it.
So maybe to do the whole thing, top to bottom, it would take about 6 weeks.
Maybe.
And what would it cost to do it? With Alex,
That's all dependent. See, that depends on what you want to do. Because, I mean, we still did it on the cheap. I mean, you want to get really fancy and start adding in DMX effects and fancy DMX lights, do some really cool stuff with.
and fog.
And fog, yes.
So that's what we're going to be doing for Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
Tell them what we bought.
We got Poseidon. We're going to put Poseidon up in the ceiling, so that room was falling with fog. And Larry asked me if he needed, how much fog juice he needed. I told him 20 gallons should suffice, and 55-gallon drum showed up there.
Yeah. Thanks to, we call Tater. In the middle.
I know, I texted Tater and said, how did 20 gallons go to 55 drum? But that was all you, Larry.
Do you think we're going to be able to make a video of that before you leave?
Maybe, but I'll be back for the event, right?
Yeah, there you go.
We got 3 days before the event, too.
So we're going to get it done. What do you, now real quick, what do you think of EHC?
I'm excited. I'm to see how it is. It was because it was new last year. It was big. I'd like to see who's returning, who's new. I know there's the Christmas section, so I'd like to see that.
There's a Christmas section?
Yeah, there's a whole big Christmas section.
Is it in the same location?
Yes. 'Cause that building does have more rooms to it. I know last year there was the hall next to us was a weed festival or something like that.
Oh, okay. So people
That's
got.
why I thought you would have been there for sure.
No, I don't smoke weed. Can you imagine me on weed? That wouldn't be a good thing.
I can only imagine, Larry.
So how do they reach you, Alex, if they have a haunt and they want us to come film it?
Just find me on Facebook. Have my name, Alex Argen, or reach out to Larry on Facebook. He'll probably not get back to you, so reach out to me.
Yeah, am I terrible at communicating?
Yeah.
Very terrible, like on a level of 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give you a 7. It's not that you're no, you are terrible. All right, 8.5.
Oh, that hurts. Hey, have you gotten into any, like with lighting, gobo effects?
A little bit.
Or video mapping? Have you learned how to do
I
that?
messed with a little bit of video mapping, a little bit of video effects. So,
Have you done any video mapping?
a little bit. A little bit.
I think we should try that.
Yeah. Gotta buy a new program. That's all.
All right. Well, there you go. Hopefully you liked that video, and there's a nice little interview with Alex. And if you want me to come to EHC show and you have a haunt anywhere in New Jersey, Philadelphia, and it's also possible that I might drive if I was to come. And that's from St. Louis, driving through a lot of different cities to even get there. So,
Columbus.
yeah, exactly. So anything's possible. I got to sit down and like road map that and see what's along the way. And I could stop in, say hello, and we'll see. We'll see. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, reach out. Let Larry come see your haunt. He wants to see all these haunts. He wants to see everyone.
So reach out. Now I will tell you, if we do a haunt tour for next year, you know what I might do? Because I don't want to tear out too many more scenes. We've already torn out the Frankenstein, and we want to really like finish it like later. We might just like do the whole haunt, soup to nuts, start to finish. That would be so cool. So not change any of the rooms, just like literally redo the lighting. And that, I think, would be like one of the biggest things we could do at The Darkness to educate the haunt industry. Because number one, we could do our seminar and we could talk about it. and we could have Alex as a special guest.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, and then when you come through the darkness, you'll be like, oh, the whole thing is different. Every scene, every room, because everything's programmed. I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be intense.
That would be intense. So that's something to think about.
Yeah, you might want to just do a couple of rooms if you're going to go that hard. So.
No, we'd do the whole place. Every square inch.
Yeah, a lot of wire, a lot of controllers.
Yeah.
And a dumpster worth of old
Yeah,
wire.
but think about...
A dumpster worth of old wire and lights coming out of this place.
But think about it this way. You buy a whole bunch of animatronics, this would be way cheaper. And it would make a big impact. Now, I will tell you that I am going to give Unit 70 a call and ask if he can make me a Bride of Frankenstein and an Igor and a Dr. Frankenstein. Because I'm going to need that to finish this Frankenstein scene. Because I'm not going to finish the Frankenstein scene before our May 3rd event. What we're going to do is we're going to get the lighting in, we're going to get Frankenstein in, and then we're going to come back to it later.
Work in progress.
It's a work in progress. But it's going to be really cool. But I don't have any more time because last week I sold 2 more mini golfs, and we've got to work on Creepy World, so we don't have a lot of time. So we can't be perpetually working on the darkness.
Wish.
But this is what I am going to tell you. We probably will do a haunt tour next year, and our focus will be...
Heard it first.
Well, yeah, you heard it first. The focus will be showcasing the secret bar, doing a little bit more work to the museum, building out the Frankenstein scene, and then literally trying to run right through the darkness to add better sound, better lighting effects. And when you see it, it would be like a whole different haunted house. Now, the biggest joke here at the darkness, it's a running joke, is how awful the staircase looks. So,
You gonna do it? Oh, you're getting me excited now.
I don't even know what to do with it, to be honest with you.
Something.
Yeah, I know, it's awful. It's
Oh, he said it.
it's terrible. So who knows? Maybe we would do the staircase. I don't know. It's awful. We know it's awful. It's a joke. Another thing that's a joke is when you walk into the haunted house and you go up the stairs and you go into that first room, before you get to the first room, into the stairs to the entrance of the first room is not very good either. So maybe we'd have to do that and the staircase. And luckily they're like 10 feet apart.
Should we do the first room?
Yeah, well, that's a possibility too. Anyway, what'd you think of the lighting? Do you think that we should do that from start to finish? Leave a comment, let us know. And then maybe you might see me at the EHC show. Who knows? Who knows? I've never been before. I've never been to MHC either. You love MHC, don't you?
I haven't been in a couple of years.
Are you going this year?
Probably not. It's in my busy time, and East Coast is a little closer to home, and I have a little more, free time in the early spring. Once summer rolls around, it's busy. So.
And by the way, St. Louis lost its NFL team, so I was a huge Rams fan. And before that, we had the Cardinals. I was a huge Cardinal fan. So I boycotted the NFL for multiple years, but then you can't because I love fantasy football. My new favorite team is the
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills, and you are from
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. So my favorite team is Buffalo Bills, and I actually bought AFC Championship game tickets in Kansas City to watch the Buffalo Bills play the Kansas City Chiefs. And of course, the Buffalo Bills lost. I was very upset. And I was
Part of the script, Larry.
I was at Chiefs Stadium wearing Buffalo Bills garb. And I have to say, to the credit of Kansas City fans, no one was mean. No one did anything. Everybody was very nice. Because you hear stories like in Philadelphia where EHC is going. Because those people up there are crazy. They're flat out nuts. They're not nice. They're very rude. And if you were to go to a Philadelphia Eagles game probably wearing a Cowboy shirt, you probably might get thrown out of the stadium on your head. But when I went to Kansas City wearing Buffalo, they were very nice. Very nice. I didn't encounter one mean person. By the way, there was a lot of Buffalo Bill fans there.
There was a lot of Buffalo fans.
There was a ton.
I had a lot of friends that went out.
And the stadium, man, it's junky.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs Stadium? Wow, that's a junk hole stadium, I hate to tell you. It may look good on TV, but it looks like a third world country stadium when you're physically there. Okay, it really is third world country stadium when you're physically there. But I was rooting for my Buffalo Bills. And I want to say, I'm not a bandwagon Buffalo Bills fan. I've always loved the Buffalo Bills because I like rooting for underdogs. And so Buffalo Bills are underdogs. They're 0-4 in Super Bowls. They're like a city that doesn't deserve a football team because the city's so tiny.
Sound jealous, that's what you said.
No, like Green Bay. Buffalo could never support baseball, for example, because they're not big enough. It's a whole different world the way baseball works. But in football, they share revenue equally, more or less. So Buffalo has a chance to compete. But it's not any player's dream. I want to go to cold Buffalo and live and play. They would rather.
4 seasons. You make it like there's.
Well, it's not like you're going to Los Angeles. It's not like if you go to New York, you have more possibilities for being sponsored, doing endorsements, making more money if you play for like the Giants. But it's Buffalo, and I've been there many times to go to Niagara Falls. And but I've always loved their logo, and I hate it when they had the red helmets and the red shirts and whatever. I like it better the way it is now. You get back to more of a traditional logo, not the original logo, which was just like a buffalo standing there with a white helmet, but the one with the swoosh going through the buffalo. And by the way, Alex, you guys are building a new stadium, correct?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going well. They put the last piece of metal on last week. I was showing you the video of, and
now, are you going to give me a ticket? I come up and hang out with you and go to a Bills game?
I just go party. So if you want to come tailgate, come tailgate.
No, I want to go to the game.
Well, we can go to the game. Yeah.
And by the way, I won a ton of fantasy leagues this year. And you know who I drafted in almost every single league? I tried to get Josh Allen because he is the best quarterback in the NFL in terms of fantasy. It's not even close. You know what's missing in this cooler? There's no waters.
It's in the fridge.
Oh, it's in the fridge. Okay, folks, I'm going to turn this light back on. In case you weren't aware, there is here at the darkness. And Alex has been staying here at the darkness.
Yeah.
And how's the accommodations?
Just great, Larry.
Now, you don't run out of ice, right?
Yeah, that's the one nice thing. That's
you don't run out of ice.
my Diet Coke is full of ice.
All right. You know what? I don't think I've ever shown anybody. Is there anything cool in there? I don't even remember.
There's nothing cool in there right now. It's a mess.
But it is a big loft apartment.
Yeah.
And then there is a microwave, a stove, a sink, and there is a refrigerator. And you know what else there is? A washer and dryer. Have you used a washer and dryer?
Yeah, my stuff's in there right now.
Okay, there is a washer and dryer, and there's an ice machine, which is really nice.
Cheese ball.
And then there is a complete bathroom with a shower, and then that is the room.
Why are you showing everyone this?
Well, because I think it's funny. Okay. Now, Alex, I want to say this before I end this video. Okay, when I did the secret bar experience, I showed the bathroom, and you know what one of the comments was?
What?
Your bathrooms aren't as nice as Alan Hop's. Like, oh my God. Have we really sunk to comparing bathrooms?
I don't know. That was.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. But anyway, you see the Titanic life raft up there? Right up there on the wall. Oh, he's back to watching Scarface.
Oh no, I was turning it down.
And by the way, we have a CFX mask up there. We have Linda Blair, the Leprechaun, Pumpkins, Chucky, Annabelle, which we took out of the boxes. Yeah. And then we're going to get this working. So hopefully we're going to have our secret bar done and complete. And before we go, let me just say this. That we probably will try to do a tour because we have the secret bar, because we finished our gift shop, and we have gone hog wild trying to build a new scene downstairs, plus all the sound and lighting effects we've done. And who knows what else we'll do.
Oh, you added all this art too. Since last
Oh yeah,
time.
let's take a look. Let's take a look. And by the way, well, my son just threw all that up there.
Oh no, I helped them.
Oh, you helped them? So they're gonna come in here and this will be the cue and they can get a photo. Now I wanna show everybody, I'm wearing pink shoes. You can't see that, but they're pink. The reason why you can't tell they're pink is because that red light over there, but yeah. I'm styling today, okay? I'm not wearing my Versace's, because I got Versace shoes.
You do.
I do, and they got glitter all over them. I bought this at the Oddity Show, right here. And by the way, you see who that is? That's Edgar Allan Poe, and then we have the one inside. But yeah, here we go. And if you look out this window,
You can see the on-ramp.
you can see the on-ramp, but you can also see the darkness sign. See that? Well, I think that about wraps up this video. Just go ahead and say goodbye and tell everybody happy haunting and come see you at where? EHC?
Yes, say hi to me at East Coast Haunters Convention. I will be all over the place. I am going to throw a shout out to my friend Dave Schonk at Closed Casket. I will be hanging out at his booth. Check out his masks. But yeah, say hi. Make sure to reach out to Larry if you want him to see your haunt. Please, please do, so Larry can come to East Coast. I want to get him to come party.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, happy haunting, everyone.
Oh, happy haunting, everyone, and just remember, stay spooky. That's.
All right. Take and join your Facebook group.
Oh yeah, if you're a haunt owner or someone who works in the haunt, join Pro Haunters Hangout. It's no BS. That's basically it.
All right. Until next time, everybody. Yes, we practice the occult here. Happy haunting.